What's going on, guys? Alec here, and today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about my story, who I am, how I got in this position, and yeah, how I'm running it up for info brands. Just like a year ago, bro, I was completely lost. Didn't know where to go, how to make money online. I knew I was going to be successful. I knew at some point I was going to take a step, going to do the work, but yeah, I guess it just came quicker than I thought. At the end of the day, guys, I've made over $10,000 in high ticket sales in the last 7-8 days. Been flown out, paid for by influencers. I'm living a lifestyle currently, like signing clients with, over 250 plus K, 300K plus followers. Like, I'm in this position now that I could have only dreamed of years ago in high school. So a little bit of background about me, bro. I always knew I was going to get into this, and I didn't know how or what business model I was going to start. I've tried MMA, drop shipping. I've looked into wholesale real estate, and at the end of the day, I didn't really know which one to do, but I knew online money was the move. I just didn't know how to get started. And I'm sure you guys are feeling the same way. Like, I genuinely was that kid in school who was looking up how to make money online, and everyone's doing math and shit, and then I'm just sitting there watching videos, looking stupid. My SMMA was solar panel companies. I would just try to sell regular, just going door to door trying to sell my solar panels. But yeah, I mean, it went all right, but at the end of the day I quit, and I quit too soon because I was failing. And at the end of the day, the lesson here, bro's trying to LARP right now. But end of the day, the lesson here is just don't quit. Because I guarantee you, if I just kept going a little bit longer, I would have got to the point where, I was successful in it. See, everyone's too busy trying to make so much money in a short amount of time. And yeah, you can make it in a short amount of time. But from my experience, it's going to take just a little bit longer than what you're thinking in your head. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to have to go through the triumph. You're going to have to go through the air and heartache of failing and failing and failing before it actually works, Before I was even able to make over $10,000 in 10 days, I had to make 50, I had to make 100, 200, 300, 400, 1,000, 5,000. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's about starting. But 99% of people are too scared to start. And this is why rich people, bro, they don't respect you guys, bro. They don't respect you because they went through the heartache, they went through the airs, and then everyone just wants a handout. You know what I mean? But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about how you on the other side of the screen, the version who was not knowing how to start and knew at some point he was going to get into this, just didn't know how. I'm speaking to you. So this is exactly how you can get started making money on the info space. And just to clarify what I'm doing, I started in high ticket sales. Started as an appointment setter, setting appointments for closers, became a closer, and now sign clients and install systems to scale and scale further. But how I got into it and how you can get into it as a beginner who doesn't know how any of this works, has no idea. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of stuff, by the way. You're not going to just wake up the next day and know how to do all this. But how you on the other side can start is by becoming an appointment setter and getting your foot in the game. It's the easiest way to make money. And if you're an appointment setter, you could become a closer. And then if you're a closer, that's where the real money's made. Appointment setters make 5% of every deal. Closers make 10%. So a $5,000 deal at 10% is going to be $500 per sale. You have 10 sales a day, you close 3, you're already making $1,500 a day. So it's not hard to really scale past, 10, 15K a month. It's the easiest way to get inside. But you guys on the other side should get into online business, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because all these influencers who have followers, you know what I'm saying, have people who glaze them, they don't necessarily buy off of the product. So they do buy off the product, but they're really buying into the person on the other side of the screen. And as time goes on, your kids are going to try to grow a following. They're going to try to start doing stuff. Nobody's going to want to work 9 to 5, and everyone's going to get into online business. I'm telling you, nobody's going to want to work. So if you can get ahead of the game, get early, install these systems, and have the knowledge and skill sets, you will never ever have to work ever in your life. I promise you. And even me, I'm never really gonna have to worry about like, how can I get some money today? You know what I'm saying? Because, I have a foundation, I have a skill set of sales, and then more importantly, I have other people that I know that are in the same position as me, can plug in closers and setters that I need. So it's just about growing acquisition and fulfillment methods at that point, and that's what I'm currently working on. But at the end of the day, guys, don't get shiny object syndrome. How you can become a setter, go, take note to yourself on like a bunch of stuff that you know. Right now I'm walking to get my girlfriend's food, so that's why I'm like walking around. But bro, take a list of stuff that you know, like a skill set that you might have. Like what do you currently speak the lingo of? If you're a workout dude, you can sell a fitness offer, you know the lingo of that, you know what I mean? If you're a trader, you have a skill set of trading, you understand what buyer psychology is and like what speaks to them. All I'm trying to say is you need to compile a list of potential influencers or potential subjects that you can close for, you can speak the lingo of. And at that point, you can become an appointment setter. And an appointment setter is the easiest thing possible. All you do is you take the people who opt into the program. So if it's a fitness mentorship, you take those people, you call them, see their current situation, their goals, get their commitment, get their qualification, meaning do they have money and can they show up to the next call, which is a closing call. That's your main job, bro. It's a 10-minute call, 5% commission. So you need to think, if you're taking like, I don't know, $150 a day and you're setting like 3, 4 and like 2 or 3 close, like you're making a good chunk of change if it's at like a decently expensive offer. You know what I mean? That's another thing, bro. Don't sell cheap stuff. Like in sales and in general, like you can't sell cheap stuff if you want to make money. You know what I mean? Like you can sell $50 shoes, but it's just stupid. You should sell like $500 shoes. It goes with everything. But I don't know. What I'm trying to say is it's not to take rocket science to become an appointment setter. I was an appointment setter for a while and I was good at it, but it's trench work, When you get in the business model, you're going to have to start at the very bottom. You know what I'm saying? I worked my way up to this point. Like if I didn't start as a setter, I wouldn't know how to be on top of my setters once I became a closer. And then most importantly, I wouldn't know what to look for in like attaining an actual good setter. So it's very, very important to become a setter first if you're wanting to get into online business. And I'll teach you how to do it. I'll make more videos, more content on how you guys can get started, but make a compiled list of shit that you can speak the lingo of. And then after that, this is a next level goated thing that you guys should do. Tell ChatGPT, from this compiled list, give me like 2 to 3 niches that are going to make me the most amount of money in the next 5 to 10 years. And most likely, they're going to tell you 2 or 3 that you can pick. So after you pick one, all you got to do, compile a list of influencers now who are selling mentorships in whatever lingo. So if you're doing drop shipping, you're going to find a whole bunch of drop shippers, look up on YouTube, bro. Literally just take action, brother. You can do this today, right now. Look up a whole bunch of stuff, how to start drop shipping. Find all those creators, and then this is how you outreach to them, though. Don't be a fucking bot, bro. Don't just say, hey, I want to be on your team. That's stupid. How many people are hitting them up trying to be on their team? You don't stand out to anybody. So what I'd recommend, and what's going to work, you reach out to them and you compliment them. Be like, yo, I love what you're building here. It's looking amazing, great content. If they posted a video, just be like, I love that video you posted. Say something to make them actually know that you're not just trying to use them. You know what I mean? It's already hard enough to like be feeling like you're getting used nowadays, just because, I know, especially with influencers, bro. They have all those followers, like they just automatically think that, a lot of people are going to use them. So you want to like actually tell them, show them you're a real person. And then more importantly, you want to sign up to their mentorship. And then if in 30, 40 minutes goes by, you don't get hit up, this is what you say. You DM them, say, hey, loved your video, loved your YouTube video. I noticed that I applied for your program. This is what you tell them. I applied for your program and nobody got to me in like 30, 45 minutes. And then you want to actually hit them with the pitch. You're losing money for having I was gonna say unqualified sales reps, but it's not even that. It's unmotivated, like sales reps who don't want to work. And this is the thing, bro. It's easy to crush it in life if you just work hard. You know what I mean? 99% of people just don't work hard. So if you're on the other side of the screen, you're a hard worker, bro, I promise you, you'll make so much money in online business. Like, you just have to put in the work. But anyways, you tell them like, yo, 40, 30, 45 minutes went by. Didn't get any type of response. Like, this is what I can do for you. I can be appointment setter. I have this experience. And even if you have no experience, you can just tell them your current experience. Like, I was a server here. This is what I've done. And yeah, hold up, guys. I'm gonna get my girl's food real quick. She got Subway. I'm gonna come back to you. All right, bro, I'm waiting for the food right now. But this is what's gonna happen. After you do that, do 50 outreaches a day for every single day until you get on a couple of different interviews. I promise you, you're gonna get a job. Like, literally just do the work and you're gonna get on a job opportunity. It's not hard. Everyone's like, bro, how are you in that position? How can I get in that position? I'm telling you how to do it. Just do it and you're gonna get on the job. But anyways, take 50 DMs a day doing that. One of them's gonna hit you up and say, hey, let's hop on an interview. And then on the interview, you're gonna it's either gonna be you and the offer owner, you and the growth operator, and then you're gonna talk. You're gonna see if this is a good fit, and then you're just gonna try your best to land the role, bro. Just like me, like, I got started, didn't know where to start, you know what I'm saying? I hopped on an interview, got a couple of jobs, and that's how I started, and that's how you're gonna start as well. So after you hop on an interview with these guys, you get into their system, you're gonna see directly. Hold up, bro, I literally had to stop the recording for a second. But anyways, you're gonna see directly. All right, my bad, bro, someone's interrupting me. But at the end of the day, bro, you're gonna learn directly how this works. And this is what's gonna get you, like, this is gonna be the mind-blowing moment for you. You're gonna be like, I don't know why these people keep looking at me, but bro, this is gonna be the mind-blowing moment. You're gonna see how it works, you're gonna see how these systems operate, and then you're gonna really get a feel of how this is. You're gonna make your first couple commissions. And for me, when I made my first couple commissions, it was like $50, $100, $120, and it was $250, $450, and bro, it's just gonna keep on adding, keep on growing with your skill set. So, you having no experience, you don't know how that works. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how it works at all. So as you grow, you're gonna get better and better and better. Gonna learn more, and then you're just gonna make more opportunities are gonna open. You're gonna probably hop on better offers. This is another thing, bro. Don't glaze the offer you're on in the beginning, especially if it's not printing you money. You know what I mean? You can always do more outreach, and this is what I tell people, bro. Never stop outreaching to people, because you never know who's gonna get back to you. You know what I'm saying? You never know what type of person is gonna reach out to you, and yeah, it could just change your life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how it's gonna work. You're gonna get in, you're gonna make money as an appointment setter, and then the next step is becoming a closer. And you wanna become a closer as soon as possible, because they make 10%, and that's where the real money is made. And like, I won't lie, becoming a closer is a lot harder. There's a lot more stuff, because on a setting call, it's just a 10-minute call, getting their current situation, goals, commitment, qualification. All right, hold on. All right, bro, I got the food. The camera was sleeping, bro. This is the first time with the camera, so bear with me. But I think I was talking about becoming a closer. Oh yeah. So on a setting call, bro, really you're just getting their current situation, their goals, the commitment, qualification, if they have money, if they're gonna show up to the call, and then you set them, most likely send them pre-call material, make sure they watch that, and you're good. That's all you gotta do. But it's a 10-minute call. You know what I'm saying? When you become a closer, it's a 30, 45-minute call where you're taking all the money. So $5,000 on the call. And believe it or not, bro, it's harder than you think. They're gonna throw all these objections like, it's just not the time yet, I don't have the money, and you're gonna hear it all, bro. I've heard it all, and you're gonna have to you're gonna have to surpass it, bro. You're gonna have to learn how to handle it. And I have frameworks how to do it. I'm gonna make more videos and showing you guys how you can, pass all these objections. But at the end of the day, you become a good setter, and then you become a closer. You can't automatically become a closer, because you need to be able to be on your setters' asses. Like right now, or when I was closing full time, three setters, I was all managing them, watching their calls, seeing if they're actually making good progress with their sets. And more importantly, I knew what to look for, because I was a setter myself, a top performing setter. So yeah, every single offer I've been on, I was a top performing setter, making a fuck ton of money for the influencers. So yeah, as much as you guys want to become a closer, and as much as I'd recommend you start out and become a closer, actually, nah, I would never recommend someone start out becoming a closer. But as much as I would want you guys to make the money a closer makes, it's just not going to be realistic long term if you're really looking to scale. You know what I mean? Hold up real quick. All right, bro, the camera was tweaking again, but yeah, once you become a good setter, you know how to set great quality appointments, and you know what to look for in sets, which is pain and connection, finding emotional drivers, get them showing up on the call. If you have all that, you're fluent in the CRM, which CRM, guys, it's just a way to track every single lead who comes in. So as a setter, you're not going to know how it is, but when you get in, you'll learn. Definitely, you're going to learn. So yeah, everyone mostly use Go High Level. There's other CRMs I'm sure you guys have heard of, but either way, the growth operator, whoever it is who hires you, is going to show you how it works. So you'll definitely have an understanding of how it works. And when you build efficiency, that's when you can start actually like looking at call recordings, tracking metrics, closing rates, booked call rates, and all the key metrics. Because if you can't look at the metrics, you don't know what's actually going wrong, then you're never going to know how to make more. And that's ultimately what you want to do. So I love this business model because you make money when you make them money. So everybody eats, everybody makes money. But at the end of the day, a closer has like a full calendar. And I could show you guys my calendar, or what it used to look like, bro. It was fucking insane. Like from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. just taking calls, checking in with the setters, making sure that they're on top of it. Like, it's actually a grind. And someone who sees this from an outside perspective might be like, oh, Alec hopped on like 5 calls and it was just 30 minutes each, and he made X amount. That's pretty easy. Like, all right, you go ahead and hop on like 15 calls a day just to get like 3 closes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, those 3 closes make you like 1,500, but I'm telling you, like, I don't know, it's a lot more work than you think. It's a lot more repetition. Like, you have one that fails. Like, that's why me as a closer, I always have to take something. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like I got to do some crazy payment plan. I'm taking something, because if not, I just like feel like I just wasted my time. And if you're good at talking to someone, you can convince them to hop on a payment plan. Bro, this is what we're going to do. We're actually going to do this much now. This is what you're comfortable and realistically able to put down. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to put that down, and then we're going to have this much in the later future. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is you are a slave to your calendar. You know what I mean? And it's not shiny object syndrome. You can tell my girlfriend, you can tell my brother, this is all I do, this is all I care about, and this is why I'm in this position. Because 99% of people aren't willing to sacrifice what I've sacrificed. And that's pretty much all my time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. It's not even a bad thing. This is what I knew I was gonna have, and what I dreamed of having, I genuinely would have never thought of this. Like, guys, you start making money for these influencers that pay for your flight, pay for your Airbnb, like a whole bunch of shit that's like, bro, you could only dream of like a couple years ago. Like, hold up, give me 1 second. But this is where the real money comes in, guys. I'm about to literally put you guys on game. This is how you're gonna make 100. This is how you're gonna make from making 5 to 10K, 7 to 8, 15K as a closer, being a slave to his calendar, to being a full stack growth operator, making over $100,000 a month easily. And it's not with anything that, once you know how to find good quality setters and closers, then you can implement sales teams. And if you're efficient in the CRM that you're learning, whether it be, Go High Level or whatever it is you want to use, if you're efficient in that, you can set things up, set these systems up for influencers, give them quality sales reps and closers and setters. You build out the acquisition for them, you build out literally all systems, all back end, and then you take percentages of revenue generated at the end of the month. And that's typically including a upfront fee. So this is how you do it, from becoming a 15K per month closer to over 100K in growth operations. And this is exactly what you do. So you outreach to these influencers, and then you basically pitch them on complete CRM setup. So that means getting the lead generations, and it's not even, it stops at there. You get all the systems and automations, so you're getting like speed to lead automations. So this makes sure that you're actually making the money. And this is another thing, you can't get straight into growth operation because you need to actually know how to set up these systems. And it doesn't come with just like watching a couple YouTube videos, you know what I mean? You actually, like, it's a lot. So that's why it's a process: setter, closer, growth operator. But the real money's in growth operation, because you do the same type of outreach, except you have something so much more leverageable now. Now you know how to scale past 100K per month, and this is exactly how you're going to do it. So you know how you can scale past 100K per month with your systems, which is getting the leads, speed to lead, setters, closers, then onboarding process, and then delivery systems. You set that all up for them as a growth operator, like, you know what I mean? So what I'm trying to get at is you just get like 3 to 5 influencers who you charge upfront fee to set up the automations for them. You get everything set for them. You set up like completely everything so that he can be hands off, focusing on content. And then you run his whole sales shit. You make sure he has all the lead generation, that he's getting closes, and that he's making money. And then you take percentages on all revenue generated. So if you're good, you can easily hit 100K per month, easily, especially if it's a reputable creator that everyone knows. But how you're gonna scale past 100K per month is by getting a fat check at the end of the month, because you're taking 25% of all revenue generated, because you played a fat part in getting them that money. So this is why it's fun, and I'm happy doing it, because I make influencers so much money, bro. So much money. And I like it, bro. I like making them happy. It makes me a bunch of money, it makes them a bunch of money. And, you know, it fulfills me as a person. So, you know, you have 3 to 4 clients, charge 4K up front to get the CRM, sales team, fulfillment, delivery systems, automations, everything. Speed to lead, automations, literally everything built for them. Charge 4K up front. You generate them hundreds of thousands of dollars each month. Take 25% of revenue on 25% on all revenue generated. So if you're hitting 100K a month, let's say you hit that exactly, you're getting a $25,000 check at the end of the month from one client. Get 3 to 4 clients, scale even further than 100K a month. You're making easily 100K per month, but the best part is it's all outsourced. You have closers, you have setters, you have fulfillment. You just need to set everything up once, make sure that they're actually doing their job, and you need to start working like a leader. And this is how, you know, I'm able to communicate with these guys that are making $120,000 a month just on like a commissions check. Like that means that they generated him over $1 million. Like, bro, I'm like a little kid to these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like even now I'm like, yo, like these automations are hard to set up. Like Zapier automations, Slack channels, making sure the team actually has a way to communicate, making sure that you have the dialers and closers like all eager, hungry, and you're talking to the influencer, the creator that you're making money for. You're making sure that he's motivated, he's posting content. Like there's so much stuff you need to do as a leader, but I promise you, once you make the change, you'll never look back. And with this exact system I've talked to you guys, from setter, closer to growth operator, it's exactly how I'm gonna make, bro. Or not even, I'm not gonna put a number on it, but let's just say never going to have to worry about working ever. So yeah, if you guys are new and you want to get into this, DM me. I have no course to sell you, but I'll show you how you can get started. If you have no experience, like I said, you're going to have to start as an appointment setter, learn everything, learn the process, become a closer, then start learning the actual like building systems of setting up CRM, setting up automations, all that. And then you're gonna start making a fuck ton of money, but it's gonna take time, and you're not gonna just be able to like zoom past all the triumph and error that everyone has to go through. You know what I mean? Like I had to go through so much pain, bro, to get to this point. Like I was going to quit. Like I remember nights I was like literally in bed, like literally crying, like didn't know like what I was gonna do, debating on going back to my 9-to-5 job. Like, bro, it's gonna test you. And this is why I say, bro, it's discipline. Like you need genuine discipline and, you know, genuine love for yourself to show up every single day to make this work. And this is why most people don't get in this position. You know what I'm saying? Like the average person wouldn't be in this position. You know what I mean? You need to actually make this like sacrifice on your own to do whatever it takes to make money. You know what I mean? So yeah, I got the grub. I'm probably gonna go see my girl, but take this in, guys. And if you're a closer, looking to get on a better opportunity, I have a whole bunch of opportunities I can place you guys on. What's up, bro? Sir, that's gang right there. But I have a whole bunch of opportunities I can place you guys on. If you just want to learn, you can just DM me. I can see your current situation. I can try to get you guys started. But other than that, I hope you guys learned a little bit of something. Like I always knew I was going to make money. I was going to get to a position. But, you know, just recently taking action, like this actually just changed my life. So, bro, if you're debating on like going all in on yourself, especially if you're young, you have nothing to lose. Like there's men that are 30 years old getting started and making a bunch of money. Like, but just imagine how hard that is. Like right now is the perfect time, bro. I'm young. Like you're young, probably on the other side of the screen too. So, bro, go all in on yourself. Get into info. Get into online business, because you already know online business is glazed by everyone. Literally everyone and their mom is trying to grow in social media, and most importantly, everyone wants to make money on social media and not have to work. Like that's the ultimate dream for everyone. So if you can get in, learn these systems now, you're going to be ahead of the game, and you're never going to have to worry about money in your life. So yeah, it's all love, guys. I hope you guys like took something from this video, or at least kind of understand what it is I do. To get into it, setting and closing is just high ticket sales. So that's selling influencers, mentorships, and taking commissions off of it. Like I said, 10% for closer, 5% for setter. That's how it works. And I showed you guys how to get started as a setter. And then once you're a good enough setter, you become a closer. You know, like if you're good enough at setting, like I was closing over thousands of dollars. I was closing thousands of dollars as a setter. So that means they didn't even need to hop on a closing call. Like once you're good enough as a setter, you could literally become a closer as a setter, and before you become a closer. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just setter, closer. Once you understand that, you need to learn how to set up stuff like GHL, Zapier, Slack channels. After that, you can become a growth operator, charge influencers upfront costs, and then genuinely get them results. Like, you're not just like getting money from an influencer and then you're done for, right? Like, you want those fat checks at the end, taking 25% of commission or 25% of all revenue generated. So if you want that, you actually need to get them to over 100K a month, but you're only going to do that if you know sales, you know the systems, you know what you need to set up. So yeah, guys, once you're good enough setter and closer, you can become a growth operator, sign 2 to 3 clients to make over 100K a month. But that's going to come with acquisition. You're going to need a mentor. I've spent thousands of dollars on mentors, you know. And when I first got into it, I spent over 90% of my bank account on mentors and just learning how to get into high ticket sales. So I'm going to get you guys in it for free, show you guys my journey, my path. But I promise you I'm going to make this work. Promise you, if you're on the other side of the screen and you're debating on like going all in on yourself, if you go all in on yourself, you're going to make this work for yourself as well. But other than that, it's all love. I'm going to catch you guys. I'm back at where I say, but another thing I wanted to say before I kind of end this off, bro, like literally, if anything, I'm dumber than you. You know what I mean? I was never good at school. I was always in that like, you know, everyone goes to go take a test, and then like there's one group of people, they're like, all right, guys, you guys go head out. Like that was me, bro. I was literally that person heading out like dumb in school, bro. You know, like I'm probably the least expected person to be in this situation, but I am, because, you know, I was willing to do whatever it takes to get here. And I was willing to sacrifice more than you guys are willing to sacrifice. Like, but, hey, I'm not glazing myself. Actually, the reason why I was going to make this was to not glaze myself. But, yeah, bro, I'm actually not that much smarter than you. I promise you, like, I'm just like one small step further than any of you guys trying to get started. And I want to help you guys, and I'm going to help you guys. So follow me for more content like this on how you can make money and change your life. Peace.